Course, we are live every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Got a reasonable schedule today. A lot of big lines here in Major League Baseball. Once again, it is early in the season for the giant lines that we see on almost a daily basis, but that is the current shape of sports betting. I can't remember, negative odds and laying run lines this prevalent, but this is the last 2 seasons it's been like this, and gone is value unless you're willing to stick your neck out on underdogs. But it's the name of the game, and we just have to play our cards a little bit differently. Of course, last night in the NBA, it was another game where the point spread didn't factor. It's just it's like, I think we're on a record. I think it's 785 games in a row where the point spread hasn't factored in the NBA. It's like the team that won the game covered the spread, right? It's like you just don't see any games where it's like they won by 6 and the line was 7.5. You just don't even see it anymore.
But last year it was in the playoffs, 81-4.
Yeah.
Team that won the game straight up, covered the spread, 81 out of 85. It's not as bad this year, but last year set the all-time record over the last 32 years. But the last 2 years combined, there's only been 14 teams out of all of that have lost the game straight up and covered the spread.
Well,
I think this year's like 75-9 or something like that.
Last night during the game, they by the fourth quarter, they were calling Steph Curry one of the all-time greats. And I think last night he became one. Kind of just took matters into his own hands. He hit shots that you're not supposed to make, not even him. And he took shots you can't defend. And his team needed him most, and you didn't hear one even word about the ankle, that, his ankle must be bothering him and all this. Nothing. And I think also... kind of like how we saw in the Timberwolves series, we saw Edwards kind of become a real NBA player, a next level NBA player. I think we've seen Wiggins become an NBA player as well. This guy is he's headed towards the next level of players. It'll be interesting. It's amazing how he lands on the Warriors and that happens. But Chris, any thoughts on that one last night?
He took the words right out of my mouth on all those points. Steph Curry cementing his spot among the all-time greats, and Andrew Wiggins really thriving in Golden State. You always kind of wondered what was going to be of him when he was sort of getting his feet wet in the NBA. But yeah, like you said, him playing on Golden State now has just taken his game to new heights. I had to kind of do a double take when I saw his line from last night, but just absolutely crushed it on the boards, which is a new game of Andrew Wiggins a new fast of Andrew Wiggins game that I think we're really starting to see. And yeah, he's just blossoming. It's really amazing to see.
Big Al, you think leaving Wiggins wide open for the 3 is something the Celtics will be doing in Game 5 in San Francisco?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's pick your poison, right?
Yeah, it just seemed, though, that he was just wide open, and I think in the first half, the Warriors missed a lot of wide open shots. They just had so many wide open shots, and they just missed them. And then in the second half, they just started to fall, and, we saw, Tatum once again, what was he, like 6 of 43 or something again from the floor, and Jaylen Brown, it was 5 minutes into the game that Jaylen Brown was already crying.
I also didn't like, when the game was right there for the taking for Boston, where, in the last couple of minutes, they shot like 3 or 4 3-pointers in a row. And I was just like, looking at the shot selection in that critical juncture. And, it's one thing for Steph Curry to take a 3, but Boston just kept hoisting up those threes, and they just looked like give up plays to me.
Yeah, Brian, it was.
I don't know if you remember the sequence. Like, it was roughly around like 3 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, no, they kicked it out to Al Horford, is what they did.
Yeah.
And they just, of course, no one's going to guard him for a 3, and he's just a brick. And
right. But it's just like I didn't understand what they were doing in that most important part of the game. They deserved to lose. So.
Draymond Green, a really awful game for him. He was benched in that game, and Steph Curry and Draymond himself. I would have benched me too, the way I was playing. And you didn't see any crying, any whining, or anything like that. And Steph Curry, it's just like, this is our team, and this is how we do it. And he's done plenty, and he'll have another day, and it'll work the other way at some point. But not Draymond's best game, not Klay Thompson's best game, until the fourth quarter when it mattered most. Once again, another guy. Yeah, how do you leave him that open? It's hard to believe, that I guess Boston thought the crowd was going to get to them. I'm not really sure what the logic was there. But and also, I thought that Boston's use of the challenge, you're not going to get that call against Steph Curry. What are you going to say, that Steph Curry pushed off on you on a layup? It's like, you're not going to get that, no chance. It just doesn't happen. Brian?
Yeah, I was going to say, and then I heard Doris Burke on the radio say that she thought it was going to be overturned, and I was like, "You've got to be
kidding me!" It's like,
but at that point, the risk reward. I mean, do you have another choice? I mean, given the time left in the game and
I think the only drawback on it was how close of a game it was that late in the game. You lose your timeout and the chance to advance the ball if you get a stop.
I just thought the risk reward was worth it in the moment. Not that they were going to win it, but I just thought that was really their only choice.
I think we'll see a lot less. It'll be interesting to see what the YouTube comments are. That's where I usually get my read as to, the public sentiment is the YouTube comments. And I believe they'll still be on Boston. I believe that's where they'll still be. But if the Warriors take Game 5, it's going to be a tough one. I mean, it's going to be super tough. If they can get Game 5 in San Francisco. But anyways, we've got a full Major League Baseball schedule today, and
everybody would be making love to the Golden State Warriors on Game 5.
I think it's going to be the other way. I think that Boston is such a public team. I mean, they are like the Yankees and Dodgers combined.
Golden State going to Boston to beat them on their own court, and they're going to be humping all over them. But that's a couple days away, so we'll see.
I believe that all I've heard, and you can even look through the comments here, Boston. It's all we see.
I like Boston. Maybe I'm a Boston guy.
How you doing this final so far?
Well, it's about. I guess I'm 2-2 or more. I don't know. I forget.
Anyways, we go to
the Celtics are 2-2, so
we go to the NBA. We go to the Major League Baseball here, and we've got the Twins taking on the Rays. It was the Twins last night getting it done. Today they got Chichi Gonzalez on the mound, and then you got the White Sox and the Rangers, and really, I mean, Giolito and Martin Perez seen as like a top-notch pitching matchup. And then you've got Adam Wainwright and Hunter Green in St. Louis. These teams hate each other's guts. Chris?
Yeah, for me, in this one, I'm looking at the over between the Twins and Rays. Shane Baz, he's got the stuff. We've seen it in a small sample size for the Rays, last season, but just wonder if maybe he's going to be on a pitch count here, or if maybe even the Twins can get to him, kind of like we saw Steven Strasburg get got to in his first start the other day. So, and Chichi Gonzalez, not a top line starter for me in the majors. So, give me the over there. And I like the St. Louis Cardinals. Also, I think I like the over a lot more in that game, though. Hunter Green has struggled a lot on the road, and I think the Cardinals bats can get to him. But I expect Cincinnati to hold their own against Adam Wainwright. So, give me the over in that one with lean to St. Louis.
Big Al, what do you think?
I agree with Chris, especially on the over in the St. Louis-Cincinnati game. Wainwright, I mean, for all the success he's had in his career, he hasn't had any success versus Cincinnati. His last 4 starts versus the Reds, 0-4 with a 6.96 ERA in his career, 10-16 with a 5.44 ERA. Hunter Green, versus St. Louis, 0-1 with an 8.11 ERA. So I would look at the over there as well. Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Chichi Gonzalez, 1-0 in his start with the Twins, but in his career with Texas and Colorado, 17-30, so 18-30 combined. That's the team records in his starts. I like Tampa Bay here versus righties, 126-71 on the road, 80-57 plus 20.4 net games. Tampa Bay is very strong in the daytime, 71-38. Minnesota is not good in the daytime, 57-63, but minus 19.2 net games. So I would take Tampa. And before I forget, we've got the Belmont Stakes today. I would get my Belmont Stakes winner. So I just want to mention that. We won the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness already.
Going for the Big Al Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you got for these three?
I know how much Mitch loves Chichi Gonzalez, probably his favorite pitcher, but I'm going to have to go against him today. Just a small play on Tampa Bay because it almost seems too easy here to take Baz, who has tremendous talent. I don't know how long he'll go, but I trust in the Tampa Bay bullpen. So I'll lay the minus 140 here with Tampa. And then the Cincinnati Reds and St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know why I don't like Adam Wainwright. I always seem to find myself against him. I think I'll take a crack here at the Reds to get the upset. I like the way Hunter Green's been pitching better over his last half dozen or so starts. And so I'm going to take the Reds. I think they got a puncher's chance here.
El Niños.
Oh, we can start the day off with a couple minus ones here, I think. Definitely go Cardinals -1. I think, Rays got the pitching edge today, so I'd go with the Rays and White Sox -1 as well.
Yeah, the Twins haven't won back-to-back games in weeks. 7 in a row they've lost following a win. So the Rays are the play for me in that one. I think this is my best of my non-premium stuff is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays today against Chichi, and I think you could lay the run line pretty and rest pretty well in that one as well. You don't even need to lay -1.
What about the -1?
No, I'll go the full 1.5 in this one. You get the payoff, and why not? The Twins they're 0-7 as well on the run line following a win, so they've been not good on the run line. But of course, they've been favored in some of those run lines as well. On the other ones. Another horrid streak is the Rangers at Chicago. They just get absolutely bludgeoned there. In fact, at guaranteed rate, they haven't even gotten a whiff of the White Sox. In the last 5 games, they haven't even covered the run line in any of those. They've been absolutely slaughtered, and now you got a lefty against the White Sox. I don't care what the season that Perez is having. Not going to be good enough, so you can go White Sox run line. For me. All right. Chris, what are you selling today?
For me, brought out the rooms yesterday, 3-0. Looking to replicate some of that success today. I got my MLB pickoff play, the $15 play, or got my Saturday Slam MLB 3-pack. The pickoff play not included in that 3-pack, so 4 baseball plays total today. And if you're looking for my best NHL play, that's on for long-term subscribers.
Big Al?
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
I've got one play in baseball today. I've already posted my NBA game of the month for Monday's Game 5 because the NBA saw fit to not even play a game on the weekend, which is idiotic. And I've got the Belmont Stakes and passing in hockey, and I'm passing in USFL.
Brian?
For me today, off a 1 and 2 day, but luckily the Giants was plus money. That kind of softened the blow a little bit. I got my best bet, my Major League Baseball Titanium play for $15. Make sure you check it out. It's a late game, so plenty of time to get on that one. Or if you want all 3 of my best bets, you can get all 3 in my Saturday Pound Zone for $50 at pickdogs.com per me picks.
El Niños.
Got a 3-pack in the MLB and my best bet in the NHL game tonight as well.
All right.
Sold separately.
I got a 3-pack and I got my big play. So check those out. Of course, in the month of June, 10% off. Use the code June10. I lost my big play yesterday. I thought the Pirates going to make the full comeback to lose by only a run. I took the 1.5 with the Pirates. Ronzi just made a bad pitch to Swanson with the 2-strike count, and that really is what cost us. It was the other stuff is stuff that's going to happen, but It was the pitch to Swanson that got us, and we were in the hole there, but we had a chance at the end, just couldn't get all the way back. Lost by 2 runs, but that happens. At least we're in it, and we move on to today. Anyways, we go to our next set of games here on the card, and we're going to look at the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. The Phillies red hot since the managerial firing. We've got the Washington Nationals versus the ice-cold Milwaukee Brewers. It's weird because the Phillies played the Brewers and the Angels, like 2 of the teams that are absolutely tanking. So it's like, and now they got the Diamondbacks. So it's like, are the Phillies actually? Is it like, are they? Is it their strong play that's part of the other teams going down, or are they playing just better, or me, I'm not buying into the Phillies just yet. And then you got the Padres and the Rockies, game 1 of the doubleheader. Al Ninos.
Sorry, we said Padres. I like the Padres -1. The next one was Phillies. Was it? Yeah, I think they've been really hot too. So we get them -1, -1.5, depending on how much juice you want to lay there. And sorry, the third game was
The Nationals and the Brewers.
Wow, yeah, the Brewers really been struggling. I can't. I'll probably just pass on this one. If I had to pick, I'd probably go with the Brewers, turn it around -1, but I'm probably staying off this one.
All right, Brian, how about you?
It's hard to follow the triple -1s, but I kind of I agree and disagree with my buddy Al. I think I'll take the Milwaukee Brewers, but I'll lay the run line there. They haven't been playing good, but Patrick Corbin, he did have a good start last time out, but I think the Brewers can take out some frustrations today. Arizona Diamondbacks and Phillies, Bumgarner and Wheeler. Wheeler's just been – he's looking like a Cy Young Award winner after those first couple of starts. He's been lights out. I think with Bumgarner, he has been going downhill as the season goes on, but I think we see the under 8.5 in that ball game. And Colorado Rockies, I'm going to take a crack with them at +1.5 here. I think against the Padres, Nick Martinez – Rockies are one of those sneaky teams that just you never know. For me, on the run line, I thought their record would be better on the season. I was surprised they actually have a losing record on the run line. But for me in that game, I think they keep it within game 1. Rockies +1.5.
Big Al.
Well, one of the 3 games is Pick Dog's premium play for me, and I absolutely can't stand the other 2 games, so I'll pass.
Taking a Ruffalo on the other 2, so leads us into Ruffalo.
the segue of all segues. I'm gonna go with the Brewers on the run line. And I just, like Brian said, I just think Patrick Corbin, probably going to be a bit of a frustration takeout for the Brewers in that one. And Eric Lauer, he's pitched really well this season. I think he can really hold down this Washington lineup and bring them back to reality. And in that other game, I like the over 8.5 between the Rockies and Padres in game 1. I liked the under when it was Mike Clevenger, or sorry, the over when it was Mike Clevenger going. I like it a lot more with Nick Martinez going, and especially with Ryan Feltner on the other side. Feltner just really starting to regress and not look very good at all. So I think we can get into double digits in game 1. So give me the over in that one.
I like the over in the Nationals Brewers game with Corbin there against Lauer. The Nationals have been hitting the ball pretty decently this season. On the other one, I don't know, Mackenzie Gore he's the real deal. I would go first 5 innings on the Padres and maybe lay a 1.5 on the first 5 innings in that game. And then Wheeler Bumgarner, probably the under first 5 for me in that one.
Gore's in the second game, Mitch, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Clevenger, right, in the first one then?
I've seen Nick Martinez.
They changed to Martinez now.
Oh, over. Nick Martinez over. Way over. Yeah, I think you could even go Rockies in that one too with Nick Martinez.
You can't steal my pick. You already took your over.
I'm gonna block your texts. Anyways, we go to the next set of games, and we got the Astros against the Marlins. The Marlins absolutely own the Astros. We've got the Braves against the Pirates and the Tigers against the Blue Jays. I had the wrong pitcher for the Tigers yesterday, and it ended up costing me dearly. Anyways, Ruffalo, what do you think?
Yeah, for these three, I'm going to go with the Houston Astros -2.5. I think this is just a spot where Framber Valdez just really, really pitching well, and I think the Houston Astros will be able to back him up against
They've
Braxton
lost 100
Garrett.
in a row to the Marlins at home, right? Something like
Yeah.
that. I think it's 67 games in a row they've lost to the Marlins. So I guess that streaks are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But
5 in a row. The Marlins have covered the run line 5 in a row at Houston.
yeah, I don't know how many of those came with Braxton Garrett on the mound. Garrett probably going to be the next solid pitcher in that Miami system, but I don't see it happening today against the Astros. I think the Astros come to play and really take it to Braxton Garrett here. I really like the over between the Pirates and the Braves. I like the over 8.5 there. I just think Charlie Morton. I don't get the love that Morton gets with a lot of backers. I get it. He's a late season guy. He's someone that gets better over the course of the season, but we haven't seen that so far this year. Until he turns it around, I'm not going to try to back him. And Zach Thompson's had a good last couple starts, but I think he's also bound to regress against a hot hitting Braves lineup. So I like the over 8.5 there, and I like the over 8.5 between the Blue Jays and Tigers. And Bo Brieski, he did well against the Dodgers early this season, but I think that's all he's really been able to hang his hat on. Other than that, I think Gausman starting to look more like the Blue Jays overpaid for him, so I think we can get over 9 runs in this game.
Big out.
Oh, well, I'm going to agree with Chris on one and disagree with Chris on one. I totally agree with Chris in the Pittsburgh-Atlanta matchup. In the 3-game sweep of the Dodgers, the Pirates scored 19 runs. In the 7 games since, they've only played at 18 runs. Of course, they go 2-5 in those games. The good news for Pittsburgh today is that Charlie Morton is on the mound. And he's been horrible this season. 5.63 ERA, 7.44 ERA in his last 3 starts have been favored this year. All 9 games have gone over the total. You'll see this line at either 8.5 or 9. I like it either way. I like the over. But where I guess I disagree with Chris is on the Detroit-Toronto game. I like that game under with Gausman and Brieski. You've got Detroit 35-19 under the total this season, 63-39 under the last 2 years versus winning teams, and Toronto 48-32 under in the daytime. So I'll take the under 8.5 there.
Brian.
Yeah, for that grouping of games, I probably sound just like Chris here. Going to give out basically the same stuff. I like the Houston Astros -2.5 here. Framber Valdez, maybe Garrett will be good down the road, but I think this is a spot where Astros can get one against the Marlins, and you got to lay 2.5 to get any kind of value there. It's about a +120 on that, 125. And then I'm going to take the Pirates and Braves over the number. You got 2 pitchers, Zach Thompson and Charlie Morton. He might have just lost it. Maybe he just doesn't have it anymore. He's getting up there in age. I think the Pirates can put 5, 6, a half dozen on him, and the Braves can do the same to Thompson for sure. So give me the over.
El Niños.
I think we're going to see some high-scoring games here, as they've already mentioned a couple times. Definitely like that in the Braves-Pirates game. I think I'd still have to lean to the over in that Blue Jays-Tigers game. And, yeah, the Astros, the Marlins do have some good numbers against them, but you have to go back all the way to 2014 for their last win in Houston before last night. So I don't know how much weight you can put into that. Although the Astros haven't been playing the most consistent baseball either, but I do think they have a huge pitching edge tonight. So I'd take them -2.5 or maybe cover that up with some of the on the money line as well. But since they're the home team, but I think they should win big.
Joe Vaughn. It is the Astros, Marlins, the Braves, Pirates, and the Tigers, Blue Jays.
And you said the Tigers, Blue Jays?
Yes.
Tigers, Blue Jays. I was leaning towards the over. 2 pitchers. Kevin Gausman hasn't really been pitching that hard lately, even though his overall stats are formidable. Brewski, he's a contact pitcher, so I think that one could go over. I think in that segment, that's just about it.
I like the Marlins here, straight up money line with Braxton Garrett. They simply own the Astros. I think you could also take them on the run line plus the 1.5. I think cash on both of those. And then I also like the Tigers here against the Blue Jays, just taking a punt. The Tigers' offense has been so bad, though. So it's just, like I said, straight punt on that one. But so Javon, you got here a little late. We already went over the NBA. Any thoughts on last night's game? Jason Tatum again vaporizing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, there's two things. Well, last night's game, the turnovers. We all know the stat on turnovers with the Celtics. Under 15 they win, over 15 they lose. It was at 16 last night. You could simplify it as that. You could also say Steph. He was cooking. Simple as that. He usually hovered, like in this playoffs, he usually has hovered around 30, high 20s, low 30s. But he got the extra. He got to the 40s. And when you get to the 40s, and when you're Steph Curry and you get to the 40s and your team needs you, you're gonna win. They ended up winning by 10. The Celtics were up with maybe 5 minutes left, in between 6 and 5 minutes left. It was up 4 and collapsed basically. So even with the early turnovers by Tatum in the fourth, they withstood that. So I mean, but down the stretch, with him, with the Celtics, their problem is in the clutch, they don't have that. They do have the go-to guy, which is Tatum, but he doesn't find the ball, or the ball doesn't find him. You'll have someone like Marcus Smart taking an ill-advised three-point shot, and then he'll do it again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. So it's just like they're knuckleheads. Udoka, that he'll make adjustments. Next game they'll do good. That's why you see these alternate games where they do bad and then they do good. They fix their mistakes, and then the next game they're a young team, but it's all about Steph really. If to me and for the Warriors, So
Do you
if
think
he's dropping 40, then I could see them winning the championship.
you think they tell Al Horford, even if there's no one within 5 feet of you, don't take that 3-point shot? I mean, do you think that maybe is part of the solution here too? Because maybe they don't cover him on that 3 because they know he's not going to make it, so they just leave him wide open. I mean, there's not a guy within 5 feet of him, so he just feels the need to crank it up and hit the rim every single time. I mean, he's not a good 3 shooter.
I would rather have him take a wide open shot than Marcus Smart taking a contested shot.
Yeah, that was from the Baron Davis school of 3-point shooting.
Right. I mean, but that's us in Boston. We know that about Marcus Smart. He's gonna somehow, some way, take 18 shots in the game. It's the good and bad of Marcus Smart. We take his defense, and we got to live with some of the offensive performances, good or bad, because he does make the shots, and once he starts making the shots, especially early in the game, it's kind of a bad thing, because late in the game is once he misses, it is what it is. But I think the boil it down for last night's game, it was all about Steph, and it was all about the Celtics turnovers.
Yeah, last night, it was like that was the difference between Jason Tatum being your team leader and Steph Curry being your team leader.
Right.
That's the difference that you get is, the shot that you can't defend, that the shot.
One of the things about Steph Curry is that's not what he's known for, taking over a game late in games. As he's the best 3-point shooter we've ever seen, but late in games, he doesn't take over games, and that's really the first time, was a rare time where he's absolutely taken over a game, hit clutch shot, and it was nobody that could stop him. You're a step away from him, contested, and he's hitting it in your face. It's simple as that.
I think Wiggins' play also is just making him better. It's just the way that Wiggins has been able to really step it up, and if you leave him open, you pay the price time and time again. My guess is the Celtics cover him this game and don't leave him wide open either. But anyways, just wanted to get your take. I know Celtics are your team, so we'll see what happens. Still, now it's just a best of 3 series. We've got the speaking of NBA Finals and the 2 best teams going at it. We've got the Royals taking on the Orioles. They're charging full price admission for that thing. We'll have to see what the get-in price for a ticket is for that, Gem. We've got the Guardians versus the A's. That's another one that's probably, if you feel like going to the ball game, you don't want to spend a lot of money, probably a good place to be. And then you got the Yankees and the Cubs, which is the exact opposite. Tickets are probably going for $600, even though the Cubs are terrible this season. Anyways, Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, for me in these 3, the 2 I really like, I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Guardians on the money line here. It's crazy that the A's are the second team in the span of a week in the AL West to have a double-digit losing streak, but I think the A's are the less surprising that this has happened. A lack of offense has really doomed the A's, and I think it will here. I've knocked Zach Plesac a lot this season, but he's pitching fairly well in his last few starts, and I think he can keep it going here against a lackluster A's team. So give me the Guardians here, and I'm going to take the Chicago Cubs plus the 1.5. For me, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Jordan Montgomery always seems to be one of those guys that is either wildly overpriced or extremely undervalued, and I think today is another one of those overpriced days. The Chicago Cubs, nothing to really write home about, but Matt Swarmer pitched well in his first start, and the Cubs have actually covered 12 straight on the run line as road underdogs, so I'll take my shot with the Cubs plus 1.5 here. The Yankees couldn't put them away in extra innings until the 13th last night. I think the Cubs battle hard again here.
Yeah, Cubs 12 in a row on the run line as dogs on the road. 12 in a row, dozen. Going for the Baker's dozen today. Big Al?
I love that stat, by the way. Yeah, I mean, the Oakland A's, they've lost 10 in a row. They've lost all 5 meetings versus Cleveland this year. They've lost each of Frankie Montas's last 9 starts, even though he's got an ERA on the season of 2.93. It's crazy. I'm gonna take Montas as an underdog plus 110 and hold my nose. I won't fade that Chicago Cubs stat. I'll stay away from the game though, totally. And Baltimore. I mean, the price will dictate this for me. It's coming down now. I see minus 110 at 5 dimes. So I don't know where the price is going to land. But if Baltimore is favored, I would actually take Baltimore just because Kansas City's been horrible as an underdog this year, but they've actually been profitable as a favorite. But I would look at Baltimore if they're favored. But right now it's kind of a pick 'em. So just see where that is at game time.
On the Ineos, you only got one minus 230 plus favorite here to work with. What do you like in this segment?
Yeah, didn't the Cubs just lose 9-3 in Baltimore?
They were favored.
Oh, okay. Wow, they're favored. Yeah, they're in Baltimore. Of course, they're favored. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good stat there. I still have to go -1 on the Yankees, I think. Yeah, no, I'll probably stay in the way. Yeah. Swarmer's been good, so I don't know. That's a tough game. The other games I like. I think the Baltimores get to the Orioles. The Orioles get to Daniel Lynch. I just can't back Lynch. I think the Orioles are the play here.
Jovan?
Yeah, so
Frozen? I think he's frozen. He'll be back. I got, I don't know. I like the Royals here against the Orioles. The Orioles are terrible. They stink. I haven't seen the Orioles team this bad since Buck Showalter was managing them. Then you got the A's, who are way better on the road than they are at home. But, I don't know, the Guardians starting to crank it up. And when you look at the standings here in the American League Central, the Guardians are only 3 behind the Twins in the standings there, and this is exactly what they do. This is like a Tito team, all the way. They hang around, and in September and October is when they turn it on. Frankie Montas is the last man standing from that A's pitching staff. The last guy that did not get traded with Bassett and Mania and everybody else. But, like Al pointed out, he has the numbers. He just doesn't get the support. And that's the part of being a number one pitcher is you're always facing the other team's number one, but he doesn't here. So maybe he does have an edge. I don't know. Anyways, Jovan, we lost you for a second.
Yeah, damn Skype. No, so on the Indians game, I think the late inning bullpen
it's Guardians. We're politically correct here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the first time I've said that in a long time. But anyway,
we never say Redskins or Indians.
Yeah, the Guardians in that game, I think you're gonna see some late inning runs, mainly out of the A's bullpen. Just they have a knack for giving up 3 to 4 runs. So I think that'll go over in that game. The 7.5 is a little bit too light for my taste. And in the Cubs and Yankees game, I lean under. I think Jordan Montgomery's gonna have a solid start. Last 3 he has a 2+ ERA, and Swarmer, he did have a step in the right direction with his first start. Pitching well, so I would lean under in that game.
I like the Cubs on the run with the +1.5 in this one. I'm not known as a Cubs guy, but I will take them here plus the 1.5. And I don't know, lean to the A's, I guess. I don't love this. And taking the Royals. I just can't stand the Orioles. We got the Giants and the Dodgers. These teams hate each other's guts. We got the Angels and the Mets. I hate those teams' guts. We've got the Padres and the Rockies, game 2, and the Mariners against the Red Sox. Chris?
Yeah, I'm still sticking with the San Francisco Giants, even with the switch to Clayton Kershaw. I think he's either going to be on a pitch count or it's going to take him a little bit to get up to game speed. And the last time we saw the Giants play a bullpen game, they hung 15 runs on the board. So I think they could hopefully do something similar here. I don't know if they get to 15, but I think they could do enough to get a win at some nice plus money. And for game 2, I lean towards the Rockies plus 1.5. I also lean towards the under 7.5. Kyle Freeland pitches a lot better on the road than he does at home, and Mackenzie Gore has just been absolutely outstanding this season. So I think it could be a bit of an unexpected pitcher's duel in that game. So give me the under, and I like the under 8 between the Red Sox and the Mariners. I just think that's going to be a pitcher's duel as well. Walker's pitching very well, and if he goes deep into the game, be able to keep the Red Sox in it. And I think the Mariners playing a ton of low-scoring games themselves for much of the season. I think this could be another low-scoring game at that pitcher's park. So give me the under 8.
Big out.
I mean, I just won't fade Clayton Kershaw, against the Giants. In his career, he's made 50 starts versus the rival and 1.87 ERA. So, I wish the price was 20 cents cheaper, but it is what it is. He's also, this is a late afternoon game in San Francisco. He's been great in the daytime as well in his career. The Dodgers 86-30 plus 37 net games. Again, I wish the price wasn't. I see it as high as minus 190 right now at DraftKings, as low as 165 at 5 times. If it was 150 or less, I would love Los Angeles, but it's not.
So Brian has stepped away from the set. His ex-wife is there picking up the kid. We tried to get her on the show, but we thought it would make an interesting segment, but didn't develop for us. I tried. You could ask Chris. I tried my very best. Anyways, Al Ninos, what do you think of these 4 games?
I think Chris mentioned the under in the Red Sox Mariners game. I could definitely see that coming through. Again, I think the Padres -1 is juicy. You could go -1.5 maybe. And sorry, what am I? Oh yeah, Dodgers probably lay that half a run first 5 innings.
All right. Now you've lost Jovan. Jovan is back. Okay.
All right. Dodgers, Giants, Mets, Angels, and
Padres,
Colorado.
Rockies 2, and Mariners, Red Sox.
Yeah, I like the Padres in this one. Second game of the doubleheader. I like what Mackenzie Gore is doing this year in his short time as being the starter. It was almost a premium play, but yeah, I like him in this one. I also like him in game one. Just to put that out there. Some wait and see how Clayton Kershaw looks. So I'm not gonna touch that game, and I'm still fading the Angels. You know, you would think that after they put a stop to that 14-game losing streak that they would string a couple together. They went back to their losing ways, and I see them losing again with Michael Lorenzen on the mound. Carlos Carrasco, he's been pitching real well. So I'll roll with the Mets. Just continue to roll with the Mets in that one.
Yeah, this is some interesting games. I like the Giants here against the Dodgers. I know Kershaw's had a lot of success against the Giants, but I don't know. This is not the same Kershaw that we've seen in the past. We haven't seen much of him this season. We saw one outing where he had the perfect game, right? He had the no-hitter going, and they yanked him. But the Dodgers on the road are really not a very good bargain. And that recently, 4-6 in their last 10, not playing their best baseball. And believe it or not, the Padres hot on their tail. Padres get a sweep today. The Dodgers lose this game. Padres are in first. It's that close.
Real quick, let me amend this Padres pick. I would take first 5. Drives down the price of the you know what I mean? Half a run. No, I can't take them at anything over anywhere near $2. So.
Yeah, I like them, but it's like you got to find a way to get the price down on them. I'm with you on that. It's like I can't. I think that they win. I think they dominate. So it's like I think you could lay a couple runs in that one. Anyways, Brian, your ex-wife, she would not come on the show. Is that what happened there? It's a little bit of.
No, I didn't ask because that would make to stay a lot longer, So I enjoy seeing her for like 2 minutes, increments.
Anyways, we're at the last set of games here. We got the Giants, Dodgers, we got the Angels, Mets, the Padres, Rockies, and the Mariners, Red Sox.
Whew. Well, as far as that segment of games go, I'm going to take the San Francisco Giants again today, not as a premium play like yesterday. I just think the Giants, this is a hated rivals, these two teams, and we saw the Giants get a W yesterday. And this is a situation I like to take San Francisco as plus money dogs, not minus 200 favorites. So I'll take the Giants here, and then the Angels, even without Trout. I think they bounce back and get a win. Yesterday they got beat but Lorenzen usually keeps them, in the game, and I think the Angels have a walk-off winner later.
All right. I like that under in Seattle, Boston. I think not going to see a ton of runs. I even like the first 5 under better than that too. I'm going to go for the Nerfy. I'm going to go for the Nerfy. You don't hear me say that one too much, but I am going to go for the Nerfy there. I like the yes runs first inning in that Angels-Mets, though. I think Lorenzen or Carrasco, both of them are fully capable of giving up a run. I also like the Nerfy in that Brewers-Nationals game, which I forgot to mention earlier. That's the Patrick Corbin is the gift that keeps on giving. And also you can go first 5 innings over in that thing as well. Anyways, we go to our parlay segment of the show. Chris?
Yeah, and I absolutely love this parlay today. I'm going to go with the over 8.5 between the Pirates and Braves, the Cleveland Guardians on the money line, and the Chicago Cubs plus 1.5.
Big Al, you going to do a parlay today?
I will do a 2-teamer, I guess, Tampa Bay and the Oakland A's.
I like it. Brian?
I'm gonna steal most of Al's one. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. I'm gonna take the Oakland A's, but I'm gonna add the LA Angels to the mix also.
El Nino's triple down on the -1s here.
Should we? It worked last time we tried this. Should we give it another shot? Do Padres -1.
Which
Padres
game?
-1.
Both of them?
-1. Padres -1. Phillies -1.
There you go. Jovan?
That's risky.
Oh, we didn't do hockey. We didn't do the hockey game. We'll come back to it.
Padres, first 5. Early segment, Phillies. And Cubs, Yankees under.
Rays run line with the Marlins with the Cubs +1.5. Anyways, we go to the NHL here. We totally skipped this game. It is the Lightning and the Rangers. The Rangers in deep doo-doo here on the road against the Lightning team that does not lose at home and also has a bunch of Stanley Cups in the trophy case, knowing that they know how to finish teams off. Chris, we laying multiple puck lines here? We just what are we doing?
I'm doing none of that. I'm going with the New York Rangers. I think we got Game 7 on our hands. The Rangers, no strangers to playing high pressure. Hang on, we'll see if we're laughing tomorrow. But
ouch!
I think this is going 7. The Rangers have been no strangers to playing high pressure games on the road. They've won games on the road. They already came back from 3-1 down against the Pittsburgh Penguins, excuse me. And they won a pivotal Game 7 on the road in an unfriendly Carolina building. So yeah, I know Tampa Bay is going to be rocking. I know they have all the momentum. I know a ton of people are saying that Game 5 win was a bit of a backbreaker, but I think that the Rangers are going to come to play once again. Their season's on the line. The Lightning have 2 cracks at this, so I think this game means a lot more to the Rangers. Give me the Rangers at +160.
Big Al.
I'm still licking my wounds over. I had the Rangers in Game 5, so I'm still licking my wounds with that one. I don't disagree with anything Chris said. I just decided the better course of action was just to pass the game completely. With a gun to my head, I would take the Rangers, but I just thought passing was the better way to go.
So yesterday we did a little study on the show. How many games, what percentage of all NHL games have an empty net goal? Any idea?
If I had to guess, you mean games that are eligible where it's not a 6-2 game? I mean, how are you defining it?
Yeah, all empty net goals scored over the course of an NHL season, including
all games qualify. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's hard because I'd want to know how many games were even within one goal with X 2 minutes to go, right? Because if it's 5-1, they're not pulling the goalie. But if I had to guess, I would guess 11%.
26%.
Okay.
I thought it was really high. I would have guessed like 10% myself. That's why I thought it was extremely high.
What I'm curious to know is how does it change in the playoffs?
Chris had that number. It was a really high number for the playoffs.
There's been I could pull it up again, but it's a lot higher than I thought it would be for. I think there's been. Let me look.
Because you think anything that is in overtime, they're pulling the goalie.
Anyways, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Chris is on to something a little bit here, but I'm not man enough to take that Rangers team on the money line. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning win this game by a goal. It took an act of God for Tampa Bay to cover the puck line in the last matchup between these two. And I think it's going to be a close game here tonight. Rangers with their backs to the wall. To me, I'm going to take the +1.5 New York Rangers. I think they get it done on the puck line.
El Niños.
We've seen, I think, just the first game of this series went over, and then it's been all unders. And I expect, well, no difference in this one. I think both teams come out tight. They've both got two of the best goalies in the league. And yeah, Rangers, well, they know they have to score a goal to win, but I think they'll try to work and go defense first, and hope that leads to some offense. So they've been great on defense all year. Shesterkin's probably the best goalie this season, and yeah, expect a low scoring game. So I'll take the under. And it's kind of juiced at the 5.5, so I would bet a bit on the under 5 as well. Get some plus money there too.
Yeah, 40. I was going to say 45 empty net goals so far in the playoffs.
I'm going to take the Lightning 5-1 in this one. A 4-goal margin pays plus 850 in this game tonight. 5 or more is 1,000. I don't see the value there. I think 4, unless you just think they're going to rack them up. I think 4 is a good number here. I think 5-1 is the final. I like it plus 850 there. To win 4-1 would be plus 600 for the Lightning as well. For the Rangers to win by 2, plus 700. Chris, optimist. Anyways,
I'll sign up for that.
Thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. As always, make it a winning day. Of course, be sure to check out our best bets, the games we like the best. We give free picks on tons and tons of games every single day. We try and win them all. I know when it comes out here and says, I'll just take this one because I want to lose. But we try and win them all. Of course, that's not possible, but if you're looking for the games that we really like the best, and when you give out this many free picks, you have to like some games more than you like others. Head on over to our website, click on the Premium Picks tab. Of course, Big Al has his Belmont pick as he goes for the Triple Crown here. Actually, he won his Derby pick. He did not have the winner in the Derby, so it's asterisk on that one. Did not have the winner of the race. Yes.
I had Epicenter to plays.
Because I was just remembering it was like I remembered like that horse came out of nowhere. He won the Derby, but anyways, still a win is a win. I don't think a lot of people cash tickets at all on that Derby. But anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day, and we'll see you tomorrow.